Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is A Bunch of Gamers. This is our 179th episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition, Shadows of the Past. I'm going to go around and have my players introduce themselves.
I'm Tyler, and I play Kyle, also known as Guards the Low. He's a Philodox of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Cora. She's an Aruna in the Geta Fenris.
Hi, I'm Adam. I play Mark Guides the Fallen, and he's a Thurge of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sean. I play Zeb Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. He is a Theurge of the Silent Striders.
Hello, my name is Riley, and I am playing Dimitri Howls-In-Memory, Lupus Galliard of the Bone Gnawers.
Hi, my name is George. I am playing William Grows-Matrices. He is a Arun of the Glasswalkers.
Last time, Mark and Zeb had performed their rank challenges for Athro and Elder. Mark having to guide a fire spirit through a field without it burning the field and spreading, while Zeb had to cleanse a corrupt pain spirit, rename it, and bring it back to Gaia's purpose using no gifts other than spirit speech. After an arduous test, the two Garou returned ranked and ready to continue on their journey, while the others visited young Sven at the Sept of the Desert Snow and checked in on their adoptive child. And now the packs must figure out what to do next. Alright, so we're going to spend XP, right? So let's kind of just go around the horn and see who's spending XP on what. We'll start with Kyle.
I'm going to be doing my rank challenge. Based on that, I will be getting a rank 5 gift. If I fail the challenge, then it will either be based on why I failed, or I will not be spending XP on that. If I have a significant amount of time left, I will probably be working to send messages to try and track down the kin that went missing, to see if they are going to try and if they are going to be contacted potentially by the Stolen Moons, because they seem like very likely targets for that.
True enough. Next moot is on January the 7th, so that'll be when you can start looking for your rank challenge. Alright, let's go with Cora. What are you spending XP on?
I'm gonna spend it on 3 gifts: Full Moon's Light, Hero's Stand, and Scream of Gaia. And then for the rest of the time, I'll probably be doing set duties.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go with Mark.
Mark is going to be spending his experience to get the rank 4 Spirit Ward gift, and then he's going to sack the rest of his XP down to 0 to get Manipulation up to 3 dots instead of 2.
Okay, sounds good. Zebulon.
Alright, the rank 5 gift Beyond Human, the rank 2 gift Weaver's Eyes, 2 points of rage to raise his rage to 5, willpower 8, and then he's going to travel to Virginia to learn his right, and then there's a fetish that he will look to construct too.
Okay, and what rite is that?
The Rite of Greater Mourning. He had a lead among Silent Striders in Virginia that he had some folks out to, so he's going to go find it.
Okay, excellent. Alright, William, what are you spending XP on?
So I'm going to want 2 different gifts, City Running and Master of Fire. I'm also wanting to up my Subterfuge from, I believe it is 2 dots to 3. I will be maxing out my Dexterity and then upping Rage. And I would also like to see if there is anybody that can perform the rite of Cleansing. Mm-hmm. So that way I can hold that in my personal Umbral device.
Okay.
So that way I can use it at a later time when necessary.
Alright.
Mark knows the rite of cleansing, so I could help you with that.
Then we can work on that. But if we have time between completion of all that to the end of somebody else's training time, I would like to see if we could either... I don't want to split the group, but split the group to go to the Valkenburg Foundation, or wait until everyone is ready and then go there together.
Alright, and Dimitri.
Dimitri is gonna increase his stamina, perception, and wits to 4, and then I'm also gonna pick up a gift of the Termite, which is a rank 3 gift.
Okay, excellent. Alright, so we're going ahead in time, and Kyle, Sacred Stone has its moot. It opens up its moon bridges to any of its allied seps to join. That includes Desert Snow, where the Silver Pack still is, if you wish to connect there.
Yeah, so I mean, basic premise for this is I go over, ask the Red Talon Elder to join me, so I can let him know, hey, I'm about to challenge you for the rank of Elder. Could you please come with me?
Okay.
I mean, I assume because we had that change in the Sept where they wanted challenges to be at the moot in front of everyone. I assume that they want that the best way to do that is to do this.
Yep. So you do, and you speak to him, and he arrives for the moot, and they call for challenges, and you step forward.
Unbroken Songria, I ask you for a challenge for the rank of Elder.
And so I shall give it to you. You have listened and you've spoken to many, but still you are blind to what is driving Garou to their end. And so I wish for you, Kyle Guards the Low, to seek Scent of the Untouched Hills, a Lupus Philodox of the Fianna who has fallen into Hirano. He has gone to the place where all lost things go. You must seek him. You must drag him out of Hirano proper. And then you must bless this accomplishment by taking you and 5 other Garou to Wolfholm to survive, so that you can see how that Hirano began from the eyes of those who have a wolf's heart but were not privy to the minds of men.
I will do so. Thank you.
As the moot continues on,
Zeb will have Sept business during the moot.
okay, as Sept business happens,
He will actually put it out there. I need an emissary to travel to the Korax, to have them come to this place in the spring, to host them here and speak to them about the need for sharing information and reconnaissance. We will also prepare a ritual for this place. The snows have been too few, and we will need rain. We will speak to it when I return to Sacred Stone and be prepared.
a younger pack from Desert Snow agrees to it, as their patron is Raven. Specifically, the Garou Bites First stands for justice, and Serpent Friend, as they have allowed Raven to provide.
Zeb will give them 2 talons
Okay,
for travel on their business.
perfect. And so the moot continues, it winds down, and Garou get to go every which direction. Sounds like, Kyle, you've got a bit of a spirit quest to go on.
Yeah, you would make it spiritual, you monster.
You can ask around for a little more context about this Garou, though.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm going to start with, okay, so I will start out speaking with Unbroken Song, just in case they leave early.
Alright, what is it, Two-Leg?
I have questions about Scent of the Untouched Hills.
Chatter.
What do you know about them before they fell to Hirano?
I know that their Karen was destroyed, that his wolfkin were driven out of the territory to die. His name came from the Karen, for he could... The human world did not touch. Few walked upon his home, and the scent was pure, and the birds could sing their subtle notes. But then the smell of the cities came and helped poison the land. It quieted the birds and tarnished the rivers. It is in the lands the Hamids call Canada. To the east, humans began to drive water into the earth to draw up more of Gaia's blood. And it seems that new tar sands had been discovered to the south, and the refinement of it began to billow smoke and poison the area, and so that his untouched hills grew toxic. The birds sang louder, lost their subtlety. The rivers grew dark and sickening. He watched as prey could no longer run, and feasting was plentiful, but it was only because a sickness in the land seeped into them and began to eat away at their flesh and their joints. A disease unseen, filling the organs and turning them like soot and grit. And his kin, the few that tried to leave, killed because the human prey that they caged off were too valuable. And so their flying fangs struck his kin, and their pelts now decorate the floors of mere humans.
Often, when I think of destroyed cairns, I think of the worm and of the spirals directly.
It is because you accept only grand narratives and not the subtle changes of nature. The small 1,000 steps that cut the trees, burn the leaves, without a single hatchet falling. If 1,000 mosquitoes of iron draw Gaia's blood and spew poison, how can her hearts not die?
I will assume that is a rhetorical question, and nod a little. Thank you for all of this information.
Unbroken Song nods back. There is no limit to how long this takes. Hirano must be cured in its own time. But I will tell you that what is required is the seed of hope. If you cannot grant this Garou that seed, you will fail.
I hope for their sake that I can succeed. Thank you.
Alright. So, what's everyone doing?
If not training, then accept duties and trying to
Help
Not
out
gonna-
or other things.
Not gonna help Kyle in the abyss? God damn.
Well,
what a
he has
selfish
an
selfish fucking pack.
He hasn't asked.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize the Athro had to ask their pack.
Oh man! Oh.
It's fine. It's fine.
We're like family. Oh my god. My brother's going into a place that I remember traumatized him and was a horror to witness. I'll wait till he asks me. I don't want to impose. And who knows about his mental... And who knows, asking might hurt his mental well-being. Plus, I gotta get them gains. Cora Two-Hearts 2025.
The two hearts are both mean.
Damn.
All right.
I
So,
will. I'll also speak to Arcadian Watcher to see if she knows anything about this Garou.
she knows a bit. She talks some stories about how this Garou had achieved Elder, but it took some time, as they were known for fairness, and they didn't actually leave their cairn very often. They found an ancient cairn and reawakened it with their whole sept well over 2 decades ago, and they kept this place safe. And Garou, who knew of them, came for judgment of mediation and things like that. This Fianna Garou was known for their elegant speech, even as a lupus, able to get to the heart of the matter. Their howls were renowned. He basically rose through the ranks that way and had done legendary things for the Fianna, including leaving the cairn to face a powerful worm beast that was coming up through an oil well, and defeated it by himself for his Elder challenge. This spirit was the equivalent of an avatar of an Incarna. It is said that he allowed that spirit to merge with his body before running into Pangea and dousing himself in the pure waters to cleanse the spirit and himself of its presence.
That is an incredible way to deal with that. Does Arcadian Watcher know of any other Garou who would have survived that cairn being destroyed?
It seems that many ran with their kin. Several were killed eventually, or by either humans who basically got lucky shots, most of them being in lupus form, and lucky shots killed them before they could shift.
Okay.
or they died of poisoning because they tried to eat sick animals or cleanse sick animals. But the level of basically accidental pollution was too great, and several of them probably died of heavy metal poisoning.
Okay. So he is the only known survivor of that.
Yes.
Okay. Wolf sightings are usually tracked, pretty carefully, especially in an area where they were culled like that. I suppose my next step is going to be to do some research to see if there have been any wolf sightings in the last... Oh, actually, I suppose I don't know exactly when this happened.
Correct.
Well, that is a question for Arcadian Watcher then, right now. When did that sept fall? That cairn?
It's hard to tell because it was so remote, and Garou had to basically travel overland to get to it. But within 2 to 3 years ago.
Okay. Then I will be checking to see in my research if there were any wolf sightings in the last year.
No.
Okay.
Are there any conservation projects considering releasing wolves?
Not at the moment. There's no political will for it. With the giant upheavals in economic problems, the nuking of Hawaii, and the political destabilization of the United States, Canada has taken a firm protectionist stance on infrastructure and have deprioritized nearly all environmental projects, including CO2 promises for the Paris Climate Accord.
Do we know of any Fianna lupus cairns or other cairns that are lupus but not red talon?
With the exception of essentially one member, the Sept of Electric Peak is nearly all lupus born. And that's Shadow Lord.
Oh, I did not know that. Who's the exception?
It was Howls of Fear. But Howls of Fear essentially went native and acts almost as lupus as all the other Garou of that cairn.
Okay, that's great to know. Where is... You said Mount Persimmon, yes?
Yes.
Oh, still in Alberta. Okay.
Just further west of the known... South and west of the known tar sands that most of the refining has taken place at.
Okay. I mean, Electric Peaks is on the way there. Though, help remind me, when you fall into the abyss, does it matter much where you fall from?
Nope. All things lead to the abyss that are lost.
Okay. Alright, so it won't matter where we go or where we enter from, so there's no reason, I suppose, to go to Alberta proper, at least not right now.
That's correct.
Alright, I will need a couple minutes to think about what I want to do.
Alright, so let's go to the Illest of Omens. What do they got going on?
Alright, Keegan. I will grab Silent Strider messengers, or at least send out the message before we depart, because I think we're going to investigate the Valkenburg Foundation.
Okay.
And so we're going to go with William's lead. And so with that, I'm going to call for Silent Strider Moot. I want it at the Fort Defiance National Park, where it's the confluence of the Ohio and the Mississippi River near Cairo. That's the pronunciation.
Give me a sec. I want to actually write this down.
Yep.
All right. Calling a Silent Strider Moot.
Yep. Or and you'll see if any others back him. I want to call a moot for the Silent Striders. It's Cairo. It's how it's spelled, but it's pronounced Cairo, Illinois, at the Fort Defiance State Park, and it is where the Mississippi and the Ohio rivers meet.
Okay.
And that will be obviously later than the spring.
Yep.
But he wants to set that in motion since it will take time for others to agree to show up.
Okay.
And then I will gather William and Howls-In-Memory to see if William has any other leads or any other information we can get before we maybe go depart and check out the old Valkenburg site. If you two agree.
Yes, I agree.
Of course.
I will give some last minute advice to Kyle before he heads off to the abyss. And I will tell him to remember that he has made proper decisions remember not to doubt or listen to the things that are spoken in his ears, because nothing he hears will be the truth, but will be the worst twisted manifestation of it.
Oh, thanks, buddy, but I've been there before. I know what it's like.
You better hope they don't know you're coming.
They do.
Who told them, Keegan? Was it you? No, you know what though? That is a good point, Zeb. Do you have any advice for leaving the abyss? Last time I recall being lucky was our method of leaving.
It is going to be a feat of its own for you to break into another realm from there, because it's going to know why you're there and keep you there. When I was there pursuing the first Ronin, it knew why I was there, right? And when I broke out, it was to see our friend die. So you will probably end up somewhere you don't particularly want to be, but it will be something that you will have to guide toward. It won't just be a matter of in and out.
Well, then I suppose I hope our leaving will be more pleasant than yours.
Me too. Best of luck.
Same to you.
And so, we start then. Kyle, do you have some ideas of what you want to do next?
Yeah, the first thing I think I want to do is go to Electric Peaks. I want to hear from them how their sept is faring, how their kin are. I will explain to them why, obviously. I have no reason to keep any secrets for this thing. And also let them know that my plan, should we be able to pull him out of Hirano, is to introduce that Philodox to this sept, if they are willing, so that he can have a home, not as a replacement, but that is as close as anything could get, I guess.
Alright, makes sense. Well, since you're walking there, I assume...
We're stealing a car. I'm not walking anywhere ever again.
You know, get fucked, you're walking.
Oh, you... What? Boo.
Boo. Boo yourself, fuckface.
I am an elder. I can steal so many cars. No, I'm an Athro. I get it. I know.
You know.
That's the line, right? Once you're elder, it's as many cars as you can dream of. But
Yes, but still, as an Athro, you have a cap.
To be fair, running there's gonna take 9 days. It's not the worst thing in the world. I know. 9 days of travel for you.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
The Ill Omens have money, so they are able to rent a car. 9 days, and the Ill Omens, that takes you guys 3 days. So we'll start with you guys. As you guys get to the fucking backwoods of Wyoming, you see the dilapidated buildings. Everything's grown over. Even in these winter days, there's still just piles of snow with brambles and fucking tumbleweeds sticking out as the wind is blowing and it is cutting. If you do not have even if you have a jacket that is a windbreaker, you can still feel the cold, snowy wind slicing through your bones. What would you like to do?
How many buildings was this place?
It is. You see 3 smaller shacks, and then one much larger building. Once again, all of them in various levels of disrepair. But the larger building is the most intact, as large quantities of it are made of strong, reinforced concrete. Even the few places that have chipped, there are still rebar lines, several tightly packed within, to make sure that this thing could almost withstand a bomb.
All right, let's look at the shacks first, Keegan.
Looking through the shacks, you see rotted bedding on rusted cots. This is clearly where various kin helpers lived. The security staff was here. You see busted guns, bones that have sat there with brown stains of flesh that has rotted into the floorboards. As you give a smell, and there's nothing unnatural about this place currently. It's just quiet.
All right, so I'll do sense the natural, and I'm rolling sense worm.
Okay. You get a few whiffs of the worm. It's faint. All the death, all the murder likely left an impression in this place, but since nothing has really happened since then, the wormish taint has essentially started to dissipate slowly but surely.
What's the Umbra look like?
The Umbra is quiet. The buildings are matted bits of spider silk. They weren't crafted long enough to leave a strong impression. There are spirits of the wind, as well as various spirits of death that still linger, and a few spirits of decay that are gnawing upon the light impressions of the buildings that are here in the Umbra. Though there are cracks that seem like it would make it easier to try and descend into the dark Umbra, given this place's association with death now.
When we heard the news that the Garou there had been skinned, were any remains recovered? Because if not, what we'll look for is probably look for any Garou bones or any remains that might be behind from the lupus that were there that died.
Those would probably be in the main building.
Okay, well, to the main building then, fellows.
All right. Moving through, there are 3 bodies in their cells that clearly were caged. One is just a human skeleton, and the other 2 are wolf skeletons with patches of fur that have not fully decomposed yet hanging about. The concrete building has helped keep some of the weathering away. That has also allowed for very rotted and moldering clothes to hang on the bones of the human corpse. There are other bones here, human bones, in the hallways and things like that, but those human bones are scattered and roughly so. Some are broken. Some have puncture wounds in them as if they were bitten by Garou jaws.
Zeb will speak with the death spirits on the other side, interacting with them. Are there others here soon to die? Why do you linger, kin?
Because the death was so powerful here, we have been feasting. The deaths are starting to vanish finally. But in ways, some of these corpses linger on. Parts of them are still alive, while the rest of them have died, allowing us to continue to feed.
That helps with something, fellas. If we're able to still track aspects of these Garou that remain alive, we might be able to find the stolen moons better than just hoping we come across them. You have any other ideas in here where you want to go, William? Offices or...
Yeah, we could hit some offices. Is there any working tech?
No. Everything's been smashed.
Okay.
But there are some hard... Also, they didn't use a lot of tech out of fear of any kind of hacking and things like that, so most things are paper copies, given that no one wants it leaked to anyone that there's a Garou mental institution with hard facts that the Garou exist, as that would be a massive breach of litany.
Mm-hmm.
Looking through the medical... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask the 2 here. It might be worth trying to skim a couple files, but otherwise it's probably just better to track the still living fur of the Garou.
Well, I mean, let's skim what we've got, because if there's anything here, we either take it with us or we destroy it.
Oh, I guess we could try and find the file on Samuel Haight.
Let's just skim and see what they've got, yeah.
But
I mean, are we talking volumes of paper, Keegan, or are we just talking...
there's volumes of paper here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, let's get the records on Samuel Haight and the Garou that were killed by him.
Like, let's see what we're looking at. So, I mean, we'll open up one of these things, depending on how they're labeled, Keegan.
Yeah, they're pretty scattered, so it'll be an involved roll.
Okay.
So, I will need an intelligence investigation, diff 8 due to weather damage as well.
4 without the skill.
All right. I'll try. I have 7.
I have
Riley?
8.
All right, Riley, go for it.
4 successes.
Rummaging through, you do find a personnel file on one Samuel Haight. He was actually a pretty early addition to the Valkenburg Foundation, though he had taken a hiatus at one point about 15, almost 20 years ago. He had come back and he had continued to work. He was a model employee, though had a couple scuffs with some of the locals due to the occasional drinking problem, likely because he had been on task forces that have helped Garou in the past in direct combat, and that he had, as the personnel file continues, it seems that his next big mark is that he got into a verbal altercation with a new employee, a one Natalie Davis. The search takes a couple hours, almost and into the next day, as you're just trying to gather all this information. And it is here that you discover that Sam Haight was murdered 7 days after the altercation. Natalie was suspected, but staff could not prove anything. And because neither really talked about what the altercation was, no additional follow-ups were deemed necessary, as there were more fears that this might have been a spiral raid, or that they'd been discovered by agents of the worm.
Keegan, is there a employee file, like a list of the employees that worked here?
If there is, it's in the big pile, as you guys have been sorting out, because you guys were looking for Sam Haight specifically.
Yeah.
In that last roll.
Okay, I guess next, Dimitri can start looking for a file on this Natalie Davis.
Okay.
No successes.
No successes. It looks like that file has been destroyed.
Hmm.
That was
I'm gonna
another
try
day
and-
of searching.
While they're looking for that file on Natalie Davis, I want to see if I can try and locate the employee records file.
Alright, same roll.
Good luck me.
While they're digging, Keegan, Zeb will let them do the research, and he'll be trying to restore portions of the veil here by, taking care of remains, performing rites, and eventually when they get the paper together, we might see if we destroy it or not, but I'll let them roll their rolls.
So your search takes 2 days, William. As you search, you look, and you finally do find a partial employee records. That includes Natalie Davis, several other kin, several doctors on retainer, and Samuel Haight.
The reason I'm getting the employee record file is I want to see if any of them are alive, so I can try and talk to them.
No, all of them. That was the whole thing. No one who was here when Sam Haight was survived.
Okay.
Everyone here has been murdered.
Are their kin alive?
They might be. That would take a separate looking into, and these were kin from all over the country, so that is a much more involved search, because these are kin from various tribes, from various Karens from across the country.
Okay.
I think we confirmed that most of what Howls-In-Memory saw in his dream was true then. That Natalie Davis has this persona in her head, and she's continuing on this twisted legacy. Everyone here died, and this is what we're left with. I've taken care of most of the remains that are here now. I think we take what we have, destroy it when we leave here, and let this place be forgotten. Are there any other leads that you think you need to follow? You revealed something very important, William, and that was that fragments of these dead can be tracked as if they are alive. And that's a change. It's a game changer for us to maybe use that to our advantage.
I think that's the biggest takeaway.
All right then, let's pack up and get out.
Okay.
Alright, it's another 3-day journey, which is just in time for Fomori's Bane to reach Electric Peak. As you give the Howl of Greeting, and you are approached by Song of the Mountain Wind.
Hello, Song of the Mountain Wind. It is good to see you again.
It's been some time, Kyle Guards the Low. What brings you to our sept?
A rank challenge for Elder.
A rank challenge. I see. Well, then I suppose that we must take you to our Elder.
That would be helpful. Thank you.
As you are brought in, and howls of fear and stands like a cedar await you.
Stands like a cedar, Rhea. How's a fear, Rhea? It is good to see you again.
We are glad to see you to some degree, though, and it has been some time. We are told that you have been brought here for a rank challenge.
Yes, I have. I have just begun my rank challenge for Elder, and I believe that we could help each other. I must enter the Abyss and bring back an Elder Fianna Philodox by the name of Scent of the Untouched Hills, who has fallen to Hirano. Do you know of him?
We have heard of him.
My hope is to bring him out of the Abyss and bring him here. I want to show him that the wild still stands, that the wolf still stands, and that we still have hope, as well as work to do.
That is noble of you, but I don't believe showing him that another place that could possibly fall will quite do what you think it will. May I suggest other options?
Are you worried that this place will fall more so than another?
No, I am worried that it will not be enough to draw one who has lost so much out of Hirano simply to see that there is more wilderness.
My apologies. My intention is not just to say, behold the forest, good luck. It is to spend a few days speaking with him, assuming that he is still willing to speak, to show him everything that these things can be, to remind him of how much there still is to lose and how much hope there still is. But I am happy to hear other suggestions.
Actions speak louder than words. Words are the default of the ape, of the two-leg. Action is of the four-leg, of the feral, of the lupus. You must show him that you can still fight. Show him that even if his home is damaged, that the fight can do some real good, however that may be. Whether it is destroying something that has poisoned his land in a way so thoroughly that it will take too long for it to return, or to kill all those who dared strike down his kin with their false fangs, or even running with Garou and using gifts to truly cleanse his home, even if the Karen has been lost forever, that the hills have been cleaned, and that the cleaning is worth doing. But those are actions, and you must use actions to speak our language, to talk, to use words to comfort when the world itself shows us that those words are hollow. You must use action.
I'm certainly not above killing a bunch of Hamids, either in vengeance for the horrors they wreaked. Wrecked or wreaked?
Rot.
The horrors they've brought, and I don't disagree that actions will be more powerful. I suspect I will still need words to begin things.
That is possible. I am not here to convince you how to do your rank challenge. Just insight.
Well, we have no idea where we will leave the Abyss, if we leave the Abyss, but all things considered, you are not far from his old home. Would it still be alright if you were on our way, we stopped and had those conversations here?
No, it would not bother us at all. More Garou, especially one who is as famed as the one you seek to join this Karen, would be a great boon, especially in these dark and end times.
Well, thank you for your advice, and for your hospitality.
Of course. Good luck. The Abyss has been growing restless since Anthelios has taken to the sky.
Do you know what's changed?
The worm's ascendancy. Legend says that the Abyss was created when the worm, being wrapped in the Weaver's threads, or according to some among us, when the worm was attempting to strike a guy and destroy all before the Weaver wrapped the worm and became mad with his own corruption, struck the earth, and that is the wound that he left in the Umbra. It is tied to the worm somehow, and tied to non-existence. It is where lost things go to disappear for forever. The maw has been growing, and there have been rumbles, so I've heard, and it is said that Nightmaster has been walking the abyss even more, and he has been seen pacing as if waiting for something.
Out of character, was Nightmaster the Garou, and that's in quotes, that we met that was very lightning-y?
I believe so, yes. I'd have to go back a few years in my notes.
Well, and that's why I have to ask, right? There's not a recording I can go back to for that one.
That's fair. And yes, that is there. So, that is who you met.
Okay, and if you would refresh my memory.
6 years ago.
Yes. How did we just leave? Like, we had a conversation, and did we just, like, go?
Yes, at that time.
Because we were weak?
Something.
That seems likely, huh? Okay. Yeah, I'll casually mention, yeah, we did meet Nightmaster once, years ago.
Nightmaster is full of strange whims. It is said that Nightmaster is once a Shadow Lord who cast his soul into the abyss to become a part of it. Nightmaster is odd and has schemes upon schemes that span centuries, and that it is said that he does not do anything without a reason.
Did Nightmaster throw himself into the abyss in the hopes of closing it, based on that legend?
That part has been lost to time. Nightmaster is millennia old. It is rare to find an ancestor spirit who did not know of Nightmaster in their own legends.
Who was it, or how many have seen Nightmaster pacing, waiting for something, or someone?
Just things we've heard from Silent Striders. Some of our ancestor spirits, other spirits have spoken, saying that there are even storms in the abyss now.
I'll look at Mark. What does that mean?
Could I do a
intelligence occult? Yeah.
intelligence occult? Yep.
That'll be diff 8.
2.
It is unclear if the storms are tied to Nightmaster himself, but if the abyss is agitated, it would make sense that Nightmaster himself is agitated as he is part of the abyss now. The storms you're not so sure about. That is a new phenomenon, as the abyss of legend has always been said to be calm and, weather-wise calm. Not necessarily peaceful, but undisturbed and quiet.
Thank you for all of that. I don't believe I have any other questions.
Then good luck on your journey. The eye of the worm is open, and Gaia's fever grows hot, and the thickening has grown desperate, though I've heard a few tales from a Silent Strider coming up from the subcontinent that it has begun to thin again near the epicenter of the original point of impact.
Kyle, I suppose we'll share news about the stolen moons.
It is appreciated, and of course, walks like a cedar, kind of under his breath, in lupus form, unable to really hide his emotions. You get that smell of disgust from him in his lupus form, as he is very clearly sharing, unintentionally, some of his opinions on Hamid kinfolk.
Well, I can't blame him for that. Alright, I guess we're off to stare into a crack in the Umbra.
Alright, so you pass through, take a point of lethal damage, and you start following the crack in the Umbra. And that takes 7 days to travel.
No umbral cars to steal?
No umbral cars. No.
Only for
Especially
elders.
not here. Especially not here. Meanwhile, Zeb, on the night of January 23rd, you are in a dream when someone starts to approach you in it.
Have I seen them before?
No, they are someone of Pacific Islander descent. She is a larger woman in kind of baggy shorts, tank top, as she goes, I heard you were looking for me.
Who are you?
You sent a dream spirit for me, did you not?
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm Zeb. I spoke to people on Island. Are you alright? I know that things on the West Coast have been absolutely insane.
Things have been getting difficult, especially with all the extra security happening in any city with a port.
If there's anything we can do to help you or those you know travel, I at least have resources in that regard that we could help move you.
Understood, as she nods.
I reached out to you through your kin because we have numerous mortals in our families that are being harassed via their dreams, giving them homicidal type visions. The one that does this, I've heard the name Nefandis, but I do not understand what that means. He is a namer associated with the worm, and he is called the Good Doctor. He has wielded considerable influence and power.
I'm not sure what this worm is, but yes, I have heard of the entropy mage known as the Good Doctor. He has been rising to some extreme prominence since the Reckoning.
What's the Reckoning?
Something that has affected my kind most deeply, but I would rather not let night folk know too much, if you don't mind, even if they are closely associated with my night folk kin.
I respect the secret. We are outmatched in this regard in facing the powers that this mage is capable of. He has been able to remove pieces of individuals and cage them off using his power. We would describe it as using the essence of the Tellurian to do this. That decay over time, they require maintenance to do this. From what I have seen, I do not know what power allows this, but he calls this his treatment.
I see. Yes, I've heard of his treatment. I am not quite sure what his paradigm is. I know that he has switched from... I've heard rumors that he was once part of the Technocratic Union, while others say that he was part of the traditions. Either way, he's blended paradigms to become something new in his spiritual discoveries. Perhaps that spiritual discovery is what you refer to as the worm.
His spiritual discovery is that the world will end, that there is injustice overall, and that if he can provide his cure to those that are deserving, is that not the greater justice than what the world would hand them? We would posit that that makes them surrender any control these people have over their lives to be a tool for him. I have spoken with some of your technologically aligned persons that attacked him in his home. He has been on the run for some time. Their information they passed was that he was the most powerful remaining entity of his type here on Earth able to operate. I know he can reach us at any time through any phone and through the dreamscape. Any advice to protect normal people? And Zeb will describe like some of the uses of, online, mental health services, some of the things that they've investigated already that they know could be tools, but they are at a loss here. And he'll specifically mention, hey, his sister.
Best I can say is don't use those services and don't get noticed by him, but I'm assuming it's a little too late for that.
Yes, unfortunately, most of those that I'm closely associated with are the subject of his vendetta. I am more worried about just normal
As she
people
quickly turns her head and she seems to look around. Okay, I think we're safe for now. This place is not completely secure, and I have other things I have to do. So, we can meet up for real in places that his influence is muted. He can't be everywhere at once, nor is he. But, so I am suggesting that we meet up in May, back in Hawaii, specifically when over in Kanapali. It's out of the blast zone. It's out of the irradiated zone, at least for now. Well, some of the clouds are over it, but the worst of the fallout's over.
I appreciate the help, and I'll take it under advisement that my own dreams are no longer a haven for myself.
I think it's because something sensed I was here. Anyway, good luck.
And you. We'll see you in a few months.
As she steps away, and you feel yourself gently grasped by the talons of Owl, and you see a great tower of coins, reinforced by rigid paper dollar bills, creating a massive cityscape as there's a shaking and an earthquake on the distance, and all the coins and dollars come crumbling down, crashing to the earth, and the forests around the city of coins burns. And all Owl whispers is, soon.
I guess Zeb will start awake like always.
Yeah, it's a fresh day. January is almost over. It's January 24th.
Go check on the pack mates.
And see Dimitri fast asleep, dreaming he's either running or working on cars. It's really hard to see with them lupus legs going off.
Maybe it's a little bit of both, where he's fixing the car that he's also chasing.
There you go.
I think Zeb will kind of inform who's ever patrolling that he's headed out and he'll pull the Irish goodbye and head for Virginia.
All right. And Zeb starts heading for Virginia. Kyle, Cora, Mark, you step through the crack growing larger until you're into the muddy, soaked areas of the abyss. The wind is howling here, unlike last time, and the only light is the solo crimson star. The skies are darkened and cloudy, and the red light diffuses through the clouds, making it look like the sky is crafted of blood. I need a willpower roll. Difficulty 8, please.
Oh no! Mulligan. Okay, much better. Do you want a molly, baby?
Yeah, I think I want to mulligan that.
This isn't a good start.
No, it's not. There we go.
Woo! Okay. Whew.
Well, we wouldn't be able to start if we all died right now, so...
Exactly. You all turn into Hirano and you jump into the abyss further. Whee!
That's only on a botch, so that would have been Mark. What a way to end a character. Hey guys, I got to Athro. I no longer wish to live.
Whee!
Mark, why? I peaked. As you look, you're able to steel yourself as the branching paths of gold, silver, and iron wait before you. And the rank challenge will continue next time. Thank you to everyone who listened. We'll catch you in that next episode. Bye.
Bye.
See you then.